Hey everyone, we just got version 13.2.2 last night, so I let it install overnight. This is my first time getting in the car, so I just wanted to show y'all all the options it has real quick before we get into the video. So like I said, 13.2.2, I will throw up a screen recording of all the release notes if you want to look at that. But you can see updates to FSD. We can start FSD from park now. Updates to data sharing, which is actually allowing the car to send like 10-second video clips to Tesla for sirens and emergency vehicles, and then camera visibility detection, and then of course all the features of the holiday update that came along with this. So we're going to go ahead and put that down, and we're going to go into the autopilot menu real quick, and we can see the option over here, start FSD from park. And I'm sorry about the flash, it's kind of dark where I'm at right now. So we're going to turn that on, and it says, when enabled, a button will appear on the map once the driver is buckled and the driver requirements are met. When the button is pressed, FSD will engage once the brake pedal is pressed and released. It says some more stuff. Do you want to enable FSD from park? Yes, we do. And then I want to remove the brake confirm so that I don't have to tap the brake at all to make the car go. I just press a button and it starts going. So yes, I do want to. And then we've got our speed profiles, which are now applicable on city streets. We're going to stay on hurry. And I believe that's all the new updates in this menu. If I'm missing something, make sure to let me know down in the comments. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the drive started. Hey everyone, the day is finally here. I just got version 13.2.2 last night. I have not used it at all, so this video is going to be my raw first impressions. I think I got it sometime around 8 or 9 p.m. last night. It took a couple of hours to download and install, and decided to end up waiting till this morning to give it a shot. That way I could film. There would be enough light out for you to actually see it. So I've got the Yorktown Beach test route programmed in. If you don't know, I'm facing the fence because we got this new Start FSD from Park button, which is going to allow the car to reverse out of the parking spot and do what it takes to get moving forward. I no longer have to have it aimed in the right direction or anything like that. And we'll go into the autopilot menu real quick. Two things. We'll go down to the software version. You can see 13.2.2. And then if we come up to autopilot, you can see Start FSD from Park, and I've removed the brake confirm feature. So I am going to be testing on the hurry speed profile. Bunch of stuff to look out for, but let's go ahead and get this thing started. I am super excited. Alright, so I've started FSD. It has shifted us to reverse. Now I think it shifted us to forward at first, but now it's in reverse. We are backing out of the parking spot. This is my first time ever having FSD reverse for me. Moving forward now. And I know we've moved like 15 feet, but the steering wheel movements, look at how smooth it is. So let's see how it does getting out of here. Last time we kind of got stuck, and there's kind of a pothole over there to the right. Wow, the steering wheel movement is so smooth. It avoided that pothole perfectly. We are clear in both directions. It is Sunday morning. Oh my gosh, it is so smooth. Wow. Now let's see what speed it decides to go through here, because it says that the speed limit is 25. It really is 35. This has always been an issue, and I could have gone down the road for me a little bit and found a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign to pass, but I don't want to set this up or rig it in any way, shape, or form. And already we are doing much faster, or going much faster than we did on previous versions. In fact, we're almost at the speed limit. That would be like a new record for this road. And once again, I don't know how much you can tell it on camera. I think you should be able to. Anytime in a parking lot before, the steering wheel would be really jerky, but this feels really good. It feels confident already, and the speed that we're going, if this is what it's doing when it thinks that the speed limit's 25, I'm blown away already by this. Ever since I got version 12, the car has never on its own hit 35 through here. Or if it did, it was in very remote spots. And wow, so going through that turn right there, it slowed down for the turn just a little bit, but it immediately accelerated out of it, just like a human would. There wasn't any of that lagging behind where it takes a minute to get back up to speed when it comes out. It slowed down for exactly how much it needed to, and then immediately sped back up. So That's all. It's doing the same thing here. And these are very subtle things that just probably don't really stand out on the camera, but it is very, very noticeable in the car. So once again, we're carrying way more speed through here than we have in the past, and once again, it thinks that the speed limit's 25, so yeah, I can see somebody arguing, well, that means it's speeding 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. True, but it's really not. It's doing what the speed limit is for this road. So yeah, we're off to a really good start. No weird feeling like it's gonna randomly hit the brakes or anything. Just all super smooth movements. It did a great job at the beginning backing out of the parking spot. That was really cool. And we'll be doing some testing to see if we can get this thing stuck. Now, of course, some other people have already done that, but so the version 13 rollout's been kind of funny. It's been released wide to the fleet for a little while now, but I think it went to like 75% of the fleet. I was one of the unfortunate people that did not get it, but it seems like the ones that didn't get it got version 13.2.2 before everybody else. So I've got the holiday update and I've got the latest version, and it seems like a lot of people don't have that yet. So maybe it was worth the wait. So coming up here soon, we're going to be going through like a little weird turn in the road. It usually slows down more than I want it to through this turn, so we'll see how it does. Now, it has gotten way better over time, but let's see how it does with version 13. We're already carrying more speed into it. Oh, wow. Wow, that felt really good. So now the road that we're on is 35. We're immediately speeding up. Oh, wow, this feels good. And we're getting ready to pass the 35 mile an hour speed limit sign, so we'll see what speed it decides to go after that. I would prefer it go 38 to 40 miles an hour through here is pretty much what I look for. And if it were to stay going the speed it's going right now, it gets a huge thumbs up from me. So I'll just go ahead and say it. I mean, we're hardly even into the drive yet. This is a drastic improvement. In fact, we're doing 41, but I'm so sick of it driving so slow on version 12. I don't care if it goes 50 through here. Now, obviously it shouldn't do that, but what I'm trying to say is I would much rather it go a couple miles an hour faster than what I want it to than to continue to block traffic by going slow. So in my last video, 12.564 that I pretty much just uploaded that got like 10 views because version 13 was already out, it was going 33 through here, and this is about the speed people drive, 39. I mean, this feels so good. I've watched a lot of people's version 13 videos, and so many people aren't talking about the speed control, but when I go on X, that's like the main complaint that I'm seeing from people. And look at it, we're doing 43. The speed control issue, at least as far as it going too slow, is resolved for me so far. In fact, it's going a little bit faster than I want it to through here, but once again, I'm not complaining about that. I've been complaining about it driving slow for so long that this is just major improvement. So let's see how it does coming up here. It needs to kind of stage over to the right a little bit. A lot of the time it would stay over to the left. Look at how early it's staging. Wow. Usually it would almost look to people behind us like we were getting into that lane, but it staged perfectly, and good God, the deceleration. I couldn't drive smoother than that. I could not do that smoother myself. This is a game changer here. This is incredible so far. So the road that we're getting ready to be on is 55 miles an hour. In the last video, we were doing almost 15, at sometimes even more than that, miles an hour under the speed limit. So we're looking to see what kind of speed we carry through this next road. So for a second, we're still gonna be in a 35 mile an hour zone, but I'll point out the 55 when we pass it. Now this person in front of us might kind of screw this up for us. Maybe they'll turn into one of these parking lots and we'll get a clear shot in front of us. But one way or another, it didn't matter if there's people in front of us or not. It would still go way too slow through here. So let's see what it does. We're getting ready to, here in about 200 feet, we're gonna pass the 55 mile an hour speed limit sign. And so far we're doing a good job keeping up with the person in front of us. In the last video on version 12, it wouldn't go any faster than this. But so there's the 55 mile an hour sign. They're speeding up, and we are speeding up too. Look at this. We're actually going to hit 50. We might actually hit 55. We might go the speed limit. And so if you're just somebody who watches FSD videos and you haven't used it, version 12 was terrible about driving too slow. At least version 12.5 was. Version 12.3.6 was better than the version 12.5 builds, but this is better than all of them so far. Look at that. We're doing the speed limit. Awesome. I love it. All right, so up here in just a bit, we're going to be making a right onto Calthrop Neck Road. This is kind of like we take a right off of this road and then immediately take a left. Now, sometimes the car would drive a little bit slow through these two turns. It would just feel slightly hesitant, a little bit slower than a human would drive, but not like it was a big deal at all. I mean, it didn't bother me, but it's, you know, it's at the point now where it's gotten so good that you got to nitpick the little things like that. So let's see how it does. We should be, it's this next right up here at this traffic light. I love doing videos like this too, where it's my literal first impressions. I haven't used it at all. Okay, so we're getting into the right turn lane, doing a great job. Once again, this deceleration feels so good. I don't think humans could slow down any smoother than what the car is doing. Maybe a touch of a harsh brake there, but nothing major. Of course, it would do that right as I say it. But wow. Confident through that right-hand turn. None of that slow, weird hesitation that I felt in the past. Now we're making this left, and we're just watching the wheel for how smooth it is. There's no like little corrections or anything like that. So on this road, usually we would do about 35 through here. All right, we're getting a full self-driving degraded message popping up. I've seen that happening on pretty much everybody's videos, and so interesting it's happening to us too. Now, like I was saying before, through here it would usually drive way too slow. We're not going to get to see if it's improved on that because the person in front of us is driving way too slow, but that's fine. It seemed to notice that pretty early on and carry a consistent speed up to them. Don't really know how to explain that, but it felt good in the car. It felt like, you know, pretty much exactly what I would have done. There was no need to come hauling up behind them just to slow back down, so that felt really good. Hopefully we're not stuck behind them for like a long period of this drive, because one of the main things I'm really looking to test here is speed control, and I don't want somebody to artificially make us go slower than what we normally would. So hopefully they'll turn left up here, but probably not. So anyway, when we get up to the stop sign, we're going to be making a right. So far, I have not done a thing. The car backed out of the parking spot in the beginning. That's just so cool to see. All right, so we've got our right turn signal on. Yeah, of course they're turning right too. You can see them roll the stop sign, but FSD is a safe driver and it won't do that, unfortunately. So we got down to 0, we're immediately proceeding. Felt really good. Once again, steering wheel, smooth as butter. Acceleration, smooth as butter. Speed limit 40. We're getting right up to the speed limit. I just can't overemphasize how nice it is for the car to do the speed limit. And thank you, these people are turning from in front of us. Now, even that interaction was really smooth. We slowed down early for them so that we didn't have to slow down more than what we needed to. Really, really smooth. Got this guy on the left, he's carrying a 7-foot stick. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before. Doing a little bit over the speed limit. We're not slowing down for this curve. Usually it would slow down to like 35 through here, and it's just awkwardly slow. Speed control is getting an A+ from me so far. Well, we'll just say an A, because it was going 10 over near the beginning of the drive. But hey, that was better than it doing 5 under in that same area. So we don't get to test today because it's Sunday, and of course Christmas is coming up. So there's not going to be a school zone active through here, but if you can see it on the pavement, this has been an area where I've had disengagements or interventions before because it was speeding through the school zone. I've seen posts where it seems to be reacting to school zones, and it even seems to be having the right behavior for school buses with stop signs. So if that's the case, that's a really big deal. So we're gonna I don't know how we're going to do it until pretty much the new year, but we're going to be doing some testing on school zones, school buses. Emergency vehicles is a tough one to test, but I guess I'll just have to have the camera mounted for a while. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be doing a lot of driving today, so we'll hopefully encounter some emergency vehicles at some point. So we're carrying great speed up to here. Before we would slow down way too early and kind of creep through here. And I just can't express how smooth everything feels. This is like, I'm sure we're going to find some stuff. This is my first drive. I've hardly used it at all. But this is feeling very robo-taxi-ish. So let's see what it does here. In version 12, it would try to get over into the center lane, or it would get over into the center lane. It needs to stay in the right lane. I think that's a map data issue. So let's see if version 13 does it. Yeah, it is. And we are speeding quite a bit through here. The hurry speed profile is hurrying. So the lane selection issue is not fixed here, but let's see how quickly it gets back over. Way earlier than before. That's one of the things I've seen on a lot of the version 13 videos that are already out, is the lanes, when it, I don't know how to describe it, it would way more early and natural lane changes. So we are really cooking through here. We're taking this right onto Showalter Road. Interested to see what speed it carries through here. I would usually go about 35, speed limit's 25. 35 feels way more natural. Really nicely done through that turn. In past builds, a little bit slow through there. Carried perfect speed through. It's just so confident. It just feels like it knows what it's doing. And, you know, I want to talk about that for a minute, because if you watch a lot of FSD videos, including mine, it seems like we say that every time a new version comes out, and that's just because, well, let me get my navigation right before I go too far down that topic. I don't want to screw this navigation pin up. If I take this out too early, it'll take a wrong turn and take us off of our route, so I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, cool. It did not mess the route up. So yeah, we do tend to say that for pretty much every build that comes out, but sometimes it's like you just don't know how good it can get. You think it's as good as it can get, and it does, for what it is, feel so good, but then they put out a version like this that's even better, and like, I don't know, you just expect certain behaviors out of a car driving itself and certain weird movements that it makes, but I don't know, it just keeps getting better and better and closer to human. So we're going about 30 through here, which is an acceptable speed to go. Now we've got a problem intersection coming up. In a lot of previous builds, it would hit the brakes for this intersection. Never really been sure why, but version 13 carries straight through here, not even a hint of hitting the brakes. No chevrons showing up there, like implying that it wants to slow down. It just carried speed through there perfectly. So I would call that issue, you know, I'll drive through it a couple more times, but not in this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and call that issue resolved. So interesting speeds it's deciding to go through here. It's anywhere between 30 and 36. I don't have a problem with any of it. It all feels good to me. I guarantee you that truck is doing every bit of 35. It's just one of them roads where they got the speed limit too low. So the next road that we're going to turn right onto is Lakeside Drive, 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. Usually we would go about 5 under through here on the last couple builds that we've had, so I can't wait to see what this does. I've got a feeling we're not going to have that issue. I'm thinking it's going to go about 55 through here. So I might find myself actually using the standard speed profile a little bit more than hurry, but hurry's definitely living up to its name so far. Once again, this deceleration it just feels so good. I wish I had one of them things that well, I wish I had two things that Chuck has in his videos. I wish I had the HDMI screen extract where I could get like really high quality shot of the screen, but I also wish I had that other thing that he has that he puts across the top of the screen recording that shows like lateral force and acceleration curve and all of that. I think that's really cool. So already we're doing the speed limit through here. And if you've watched my last couple videos, you know probably to an annoying degree, I do a lot of complaining about speed limit, or about speed control. And boy, does this feel good. I mean, this is about perfect. This is probably about what I'd be driving through here. I probably wouldn't go much more than 50, but people do 55 through here all the time, but like 48 to 50, great speed choice. So far, I've done nothing this drive. I haven't even had the thought of needing to do something. That's huge. Might have to find a more challenging test route. Not that this route was really meant to be super challenging. This is just way before I even had a Tesla. This was one of my favorite cruises to make on a day when I was just randomly driving around. It's a route that I know very well. It's a route that I've taken a bunch of times on FSD, so I really use this test route just to test out little subtle differences. I've driven it so many times, I can tell if there's any behavior change. It's immediately noticeable to me. Like through this curve right now, usually we would hug the middle line way more than that. It's doing a better job staying centered through there. And it's not that it needed to stay centered through there. I don't have a problem with it, you know, naturally getting closer to the center line through that left curve, but before it would actually drive over top of it. And I don't think that it needs to do that. So coming up this intersection, we're gonna be taking a left. The speed that it carries up to stop signs, it just feels so good. And I thought it was way improved in the last version, but this is like perfect. Really smooth through there, no weird wheel movements. Now this next road, Allen's Mill Road, is a real tight 30-mile-an-hour road. We would get some weird behavior through here. A lot of the times it would either drive too slow or it would just be real jerky, and you could feel the car at any moment ready to hit the brakes for sometimes nothing. So I'm interested to see how its confidence feels through this next one. I would say that's what it lacked before, was confidence coming through here. Check on my GoPro temperature real quick. You know, GoPros love to overheat. Feeling good so far, carrying good speed through that turn. A little bit of a weird hesitation right there. Definitely you're not gonna be able to notice it on camera, but I felt it. It was like it just lifted off the pedal for a second and then went back on. But it's already feeling more confident through here. We're doing 34, carrying good speed into this little curve. Wow, this feels good. Didn't have any reaction to that Jeep. I think previous versions, that Jeep would have thrown it off, but it didn't at all. Wow, it feels really good through here, like really confident. It's picked a speed that it wanted to go. It's sticking to it. It's actually over the speed limit. Wow. This is really good. I can't wait to hear everybody's feedback down in the comments. I want to hear y'all's experience. If you've had the chance to use it, what do you think? What do you think of this versus my previous videos? Hopefully the video quality is good. I think I've got my settings on my camera set up really for being in the sunlight to get the highest quality, but you'll be able to see it well enough to get the idea. Oh, I'm about to mess up my route. Okay. There we go. Full self-driving may be degraded. It seems to do that every time I pop my menu open. That's interesting. Let's try it again. Edit trip, done. No, it didn't do it that time. The vision monitoring nag is a little bit turned up. You can't look at the screen for very long without getting a pay attention to the road. That's not a bad thing. I would expect them to do that on a new version that they're wide releasing, but so anyway, got my navigation right. Through that curve back there, we used to slow down way too much. It didn't do that this time. In fact, it was so smooth I wasn't even thinking about it. Same thing through this next left curve that we're gonna take. It would slow down way too much. So let's see what it does here. Perfect. Honestly, it feels like me driving. Like, it's so weird. It's doing exactly everything that I would do. All right, so here we go. We're taking a right here. Sometimes it would stop too early for this one. I'm interested to see if it pulls up far enough for visibility. And we're still gonna stop a bit early. We're gonna creep forward. Everything is clear to the left. and it goes just like it should. So we're looking for two things here. Is it going to go the speed limit on this road? It would always go too slow through here. And then there's also a storm drain up here on the right that every time we would pass it, the car would tap the brakes. So it's been doing that for a while. I'm very interested to see if that's gone. So question number one, are we going to do the speed limit? We're 1 mile an hour under right now, which isn't a big deal, but I got a feeling it's going to speed up. Any second now, the storm drain over on the right would make it tap the brakes. It didn't do it. And we're doing over the speed limit now. So both of those issues seem to be resolved. Now this next one after this intersection is going to be really interesting. It has never gone the speed limit after this light. It's always gone 10 under, no matter what version I was on, except for version 11 where you told it what speed to go. But I'm very interested to see if it will actually do 50 through here. So the way this is set up, we're going to pass a sign. You might be able to see it in the distance right now. It's got a sign for trucks that says 45, and it's got a speed limit sign for everybody else that says 50. It always sees the 50 and it displays it correctly up here, but it's never actually gone 50. So let's see what it does. We got a green light. Very smooth acceleration from green lights. That feels really good. So here we go. We're getting ready to pass the 50 mile an hour sign. This is as fast as it would go before. So we're already doing faster. We're up to 45, 46. Oh my gosh, it's gonna go the speed limit. Oh, so close. It got up to 49. There it is. It's never done this before. This is the first time. This is incredible. This is the first version. Now, I've shown this off to people before who have an open mind, but a lot of the times I don't want to get anybody in the car with FSD who's already skeptical of it or that may not be a big fan of Tesla because they're just going to criticize it to death on any small thing that it does. I would show this off to anybody, even somebody scared to death of it. This is nice. Let's see if it slows down for these railroad tracks. A little bit. In fact, perfectly. It was just so smooth doing it. All right, so turning left here. We are clear in both directions. Once again, this deceleration is like, if I could show it, it's just a smooth line. There's no, it's slowing down and then hits the brakes to slow down at the last second. Just feels really good. Carrying really good speed through here, directly up to 40, which is exactly what it should do. For all the speed control complainers out there, you are going to be thrilled with this version. As long as Tesla doesn't go back and make some big change to it to try to slow it down, which please don't. Yeah, if you were complaining about speed control, I think that you're not going to be complaining anymore. If you complain about anything, it's going to be that it's driving too fast. Oh my gosh, the confidence through these curves. There's no more of that, it was like version 12.5 would slow down 5 miles an hour more than it needed to through pretty much all curves. And it wasn't like, it just felt awkward. I don't know. It was just one of them things that makes you want to, if you're not filming a video, just take over and drive yourself. Because if you've got to pay attention anyway, and it's driving slower than you would, then why not just take over and drive? But right now, I don't feel any need to take over. Like, none of that awkward, like, come on, please speed up. If there were people behind us, I don't think that they'd even bat an eye. When before, I think I probably caused my fair share of road rage. I can safely say that I have slowed down quite a few people using FSD. So I think on a different topic, one of the main complaints I've been seeing is people are getting the rad hands, which is like a forced disengagement every time sun is shining directly into the camera. I'm getting kind of lucky based on the time of day that I'm doing this video that I don't think we're gonna have any sun shining directly into the camera, so probably won't get to see if that's an issue for me or not. It's kind of funny. It seems to be hit or miss. For some people, it's really bad. For others, they're not having an issue at all. In fact, I've watched some videos where people are like directly in bright sunlight and having no issue. So I'm thinking maybe it's something to do with like the condition of their windshield. Is it really clean? Is it not clean? Does the inside need to be cleaned where the cameras are at? That might play some factor into it. We are really moving through here right now. So we're doing about 14 over. People do it through here. It's probably a little bit faster than, oh, we got a squirrel running out into the road. Okay, the squirrel survived, but FSD did not react to it. Did make me nervous there for a minute. And I've got mixed feelings on that. So I've had builds before that overreacted to squirrels, and that does kind of scare me. You know, there's a happy medium there. I would have slowed down for that squirrel more than the car did. Well, I would have slowed down for the squirrel. The car really didn't. But like, there's been times where the car has slammed the brakes for squirrels, or has like swerved a little bit, and that can create its own problems. Like if there's people behind you, or a lot of traffic accidents happen, or traffic deaths happen from people like swerving for deer instead of just hitting it in the right scenario. I don't know how you tackle that problem with FSD, but maybe you just show it millions of videos of people successfully evading deer and roadkill and whatnot, and it would just get so good that it would always make the right decision. I don't know. But I want to point out, we are almost doing the speed limit through here. So actually, that was really cool. We were kind of going over a hill where it didn't have good visibility, but as soon as we cleared the hill and it could see, we're almost doing 60 through here. It's done the speed limit on every single road except for the one where I had somebody in front of me slowing us down. But I think it's safe to say it would probably do the right thing through there. So we're getting pretty close to the end of our drive. Man, I don't have a whole lot of complaints here. In fact, I'm like kind of struggling to nitpick anything. It's had like 1 or 2 times where it felt like it lifted off of the pedal for a second, but it wasn't like a phantom brake by any means. It was just like a, I could almost see it being behavior. Like, this is one of the things that took me a while to adjust in the one pedal driving style to, like, if I wanted to like stretch my ankle or something and I let my foot off the pedal, it will like, the regenerative braking will come on for a second, and then I'll like put my foot back on the pedal, and I'm almost wondering, maybe the model has picked up on enough people doing that it just randomly from time to time would lift off the pedal. I doubt that's it, but I don't see why that's not a feasible thing to happen. I mean, I know I'm not the only one who sometimes wants to like pop my ankle or something like that. So we're turning left here. I am very eager to see in this next right-hand turn whether or not it still tries to turn too sharp. All of version 12 would try to turn too sharp, and it's even caused disengagements before. Let's see if this issue is fixed too. And we do have some pretty bright sunlight behind us, so I don't know if the rear camera gets affected by that. Here we go. We got our right turn signal on. Usually it wants to turn too far right down this curve here. It didn't do it. It was maybe a little bit further on the right than I would have usually gone, but it wasn't the same problem. If you watch my previous videos, it would almost start turning down that road, and then it would have to jerk the wheel to the left to correct itself. There was none of that. It just slowed down a little bit more and gauged which way it needed to go. So that was really good. So we are really close to the end of the drive. 0 interventions, 0 disengagements so far. We'll see if it can keep that up. We do have a person walking over here on the left. Let's see if it does anything for them. It doesn't really need to, but it's doing a good job staying over to the right and giving them room just in case they did do something weird. So we're turning right down this hill. Very confident around that right. Sometimes before it would like kind of slow down abruptly and move the wheel kind of weird. Let's see what it does at the bottom of the hill. We don't have a stop sign. We should roll directly through and go to the left. A lot of the times it wants to stop here. Now, it didn't on the previous build, but usually it's when somebody's coming from the right. Nah, handled that perfectly. So let's give my wrap-up thoughts. Wow. Knocked it out of the park, Tesla. This is awesome. Amazing. a miracle. I don't have strong enough words to describe this. What a huge leap over version 12, and version 12 was amazing. We're even carrying great speed through here. Usually we're going way slower than this through here. Y'all have got to try this. If you don't have a Tesla, or if you don't have FSD, schedule a demo drive and go test it. Get a friend to test it for you. I don't know, but you've got to try it. This is incredible. Zero intervention, zero disengagements. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go find some places to stress test it, but this is so good. We've got some people coming up in front of us running with their dog, interested to see what it does for them. But this is so good. Anyway, if you watched the whole video, I really appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like. We need to give these people some room. All right, nicely done. Waited a little bit longer than I probably would have. I saw them coming a while ago and I would have moved over, but that's minor. Let's see what it does. Is it going to park here? Like I was saying though, thanks for watching. Please give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Look at that. It pulls over nicely and it shifts into park. How cool is that? This is so good. So anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. There's going to be plenty more version 13 videos coming out. Let me know down in the comments what y'all want to see, and I'll make it happen. But until then, see ya.